Good morning and welcome to this new nautical tutorial dedicated to a problem that plagues many boaters during the winter storage of their boats. You've probably already guessed from what I have here on the table: humidity on board. Today we'll take an in-depth look at the problem of humidity on boats during winter storage, but above all, we'll share detailed solutions to keep your boat dry and in perfect condition. Many boaters, especially those who are just starting out, tend to underestimate the importance of properly storing their boat and just cover it any old way, only to find unpleasant surprises when they return after a few months. On this note, I've put a link in the description to 2 videos with a detailed procedure and the PDF checklist to help you store your boat properly. Thank you. Let's get back to the topic of humidity. There are many issues that can arise if a boat isn't properly protected from humidity, and they can lead to serious problems both in the short and long term. Let's talk about mold. And as everyone knows, green is considered bad luck on board because it's the color of this major enemy. Annoyingly damp cushions, deterioration of wood and interiors in general, and even damage to the electrical system and much more. So it's better to prevent these problems rather than fix them later. And now let's move on to practical solutions that can help us fight humidity during winter storage. Some solutions will only be possible if you can visit your boat periodically, while others are what you'll need to put in place if you have to leave your boat alone for a few months. Cover your boat with a proper canopy. Whether you'll keep living on your boat during the winter, or especially if you have to leave it for a few months, cover your boat with a proper canopy. You can use custom-made tarps or go for more DIY solutions. What I think is important is that there's enough space for air circulation, so you don't end up creating even more of a greenhouse effect. Needless to say, if you're often on board, take every chance you get to open hatches, skylights, and anything else to let your boat's interior breathe. There are various systems you can use to create ventilation points on your boat: grills, watertight air vents, ones designed with nozzles or ventilators, and even air intakes that work with small solar panels. All these systems will ensure a constant flow of fresh, clean air, reducing condensation even when the boat is completely closed up. You can find all of them on the HiNelson website, but before outfitting your boat, consult a trusted technician or reach out directly to our HiNelson experts at the link I always leave in the description. Salt-based dehumidifiers are an effective and affordable solution, and most importantly, they don't require any power. Place one in each Calman. The only essential recommendation is to always use the collection tray, which is specifically designed to fit the size of the salt cartridge. Do not drain or leave the dehumidifier without the collection tray directly in the sink, especially if the seacocks are left open. It is extremely dangerous because salts such as calcium chloride can be corrosive to seals and pose a serious risk to the marine environment.
Here's what the Torvolo looks like once it's taken out of its packaging. You will need to carefully take out the tray that is specifically designed to hold the dehumidifier salts. Then you should gently turn it completely over. Right here, you'll notice there's a small protective lid that needs to be carefully removed. Let's set it aside for a moment. Subsequently, take the new refill package for the dehumidifier salts, and all you have to do is simply open it up and then pour the entirety of the salts into the designated tray. Cage above. One will contain the salts, the other will contain the water from the dehumidifier. Okay, what? Just close it. And place it in a place like a cabin or the dinette, directly where it will be ready to dehumidify.
Using an electric dehumidifier is certainly effective, but the essential condition is to use it only when you are present on board. Anything that requires a 220-volt electrical supply should not be plugged in when we're not on board, to avoid the risk of fires caused by short circuits. If you have a Webasto or a combustion heater installed on board, this advice won't be useful to you. But if, like me, you don't have any of these systems and you use your boat during the winter season, even just to spend a wonderful evening at the dock, I highly recommend considering the purchase of an electric radiator. Unlike a classic heater like a fan heater, it's much safer, uses less energy, and the heat is much drier and longer lasting. My personal technique is to quickly warm up the space with a small electric heater, then turn it off and use only the radiator during the night. Try it and see for yourself. Needless to say, before putting your beauty into storage, you should make sure that the seals are in good condition. Leaks can let moisture in, so inspect the boat to find any spots where water could seep in and seal up any gaps or cracks. Prevention is key. Don't leave damp items on board during storage, like cushions, towels, swimsuits, or even fabrics just used for cleaning, or clothing like foul weather gear. The first signs of moisture-related problems often show up as stains on fabrics, and then gradually spread throughout the cabin. Ideally, you should remove all fabrics and cushions from the boat and bring them back at the start of the season. If that's not possible, wash all the cushions and, in general, all fabrics, dry them thoroughly, and leave them on board raised as much as possible off the surfaces. A good solution, but only if you're sure everything is perfectly dry, is to use vacuum storage bags. Leaving the cabinet doors, and especially the fridge door open, and if possible, even the bilge floorboards, will allow air to circulate as much as possible. A bit of salt always settles on a boat's surfaces, and as all of us sailors know, salt attracts moisture. So before leaving your boat in storage, wash all the interior surfaces with fresh water. If you live on your boat, even during the winter, do this whenever you get the chance. Pressure cooker ma amour. If you live on your boat in winter, use the pressure cooker as much as possible. In general, always use a lid on your pots whenever you can. Of course, you're as welcome as water on board, as the sailor's proverb says, and we all know that seawater brings humidity, as we've already mentioned. Prevention is better than cure, so in general, even during the summer season, avoid coming aboard with swimsuits or towels wet with salty water. And here we are. These are my tricks for keeping the boat dry during the winter. There are surely many more, so I look forward to reading all of them down below in the comments. As we said, prevention is better than cure, so follow these tips and enjoy a dry boat that's ready for the next season. Don't forget to subscribe to HiNelson's channel to discover all the secrets of boat maintenance and life on board. And most importantly, share this video with a friend who has a damp boat. Fair winds, not too little, not too much, but just right.